So Go-Go Loser Ranger continues to be one of my favorite series I tune into week to week watching anime series, and once again Season 2 Episode 3 did not disappoint, as with this episode we jump straight into the plot, we jump straight into the action, we jump straight into the plot twists with everything going on as the memory school arc, whatever you want to call it, the dream school arc, I don't know what it's called, I haven't looked it up because I want to avoid spoilers, but this story arc is fantastic as things are moving at a pretty good pace with everything going on. So last week's episode, it ended on that weird cliffhanger where I was really confused, where Angel said there was a math exam happening, and immediately at the start of this week's episode, we get some answers with everything going on. And one of the things we learn in this episode is that human characters, which will be brought up later in the end of this episode, is that the students here are slowly losing their memories, and they're getting their memories erased to make it seem like they're having this happy school life here as they're being spirited away, as they say. So right away, they're on top of the investigation, and Hisei, I don't know how to pronounce her name, or Kanan, I think I just call her Kanan, but Kanan, she goes right into the action. She confronts the principal, because one of the things we learn out that one of the principals is that the principal used to be a student in the Green Battalion that went missing all those years ago, but not only that, a bunch of other students went missing as well. And one of those students was Kanan's rival, who is kind of this big mystery, but she was Sora's second in line to be the next Green Keeper, but she got lost during this school mission that all of the Rangers went on, all the Green Rangers went on all those years ago to investigate the missing students all those years ago while trying to find the boss monster. So I can assume that these Rangers are probably dead and the boss monster killed them. If they somehow are alive at the end of this story arc, then that's going to feel like kind of a cop-out, but this boss monster is a giant snake, so maybe they're in the belly of the giant snake, maybe the snake has been slowly digesting them all these years ago, I'm not entirely sure. But with Kanan, right away, she confronts the principal right away, and we find out that the principal, who might be the boss monster, I'm not entirely sure, because like I said, there's a lot of fake outs with who the boss monster could be. I thought it was Mr. Gato, because Mr. Gato had that snake tattoo across his face, but it doesn't look like it's him so far, because when the boss monster made their appearance, they were bowing, but then also the boss monster had a tracksuit on that a student would wear. So we can make the assumption that one of the boss monsters has taken the role of one of the students. Who that student is, we have no idea at this point. But Kanan fights the principal, and right away the fight is freaking amazing. She uses her divine tool with the mask, or the freaking hollow mask from Bleach, and the divine tool is something that can make a bunch of stone walls everywhere, and right away the fight choreography for this episode is freaking fantastic, as Kanan is moving around in this small space trying to fight the principal, and they just keep making all these stone barrages going everywhere, but she's able to take them all out the window. And you have this scene where they're falling through the sky, and Kanan has the ability to sort of pull knives from her mouth. There's something that we've seen before. She can pull like knives and blades out of her mouth. And one of the things she does is she freaking pulls a blade out of her mouth and impales the guy through the mouth as well, like right through the throat. And the sort of blood gurgling sounds you hear from the voice actor is so disturbing but so cool at the same time, as he's slowly dying. And it almost looks like it seems like they won with everything going on. But that's not the case, because one of the students see what's going on, that the principal is being harmed, and that's in violation of the school rules. So everything gets reset once again. And because there was a big reset with everything going on, now Kanan is slowly losing her memories as well, and she's going to sort of end up like the rest of them. But you can see that she's sort of fighting on for her life, as it looks like she's having a bit of a mental breakdown where she's trying to fight it with everything going on. So while more investigation is going on with Chidori and Fighter D, they're trying to figure out what the heck is going on, and you have this scene where D kicks one of the vending machines, and he thinks that he's busted one of the school rules because there's going to be a reset. But one of the things that Chidori learns is that if no one sees it, or no one calls it out that you're breaking the school rules, then nothing can reset. So that's one of the rules that we learn with the monster's powers, that if you get caught and called out for breaking the school rules, then everything's going to reset. So D then gets called to one of the teacher's offices, Gato, and what we get is this giant fight scene between the two of them, which is really freaking amazing because the teacher is using like a ruler and a compass ruler. I can't remember what it's called. A protractor, a giant wooden protractor. And what we get is this really amazing fight scene where D is just getting cut up. He keeps regenerating, so he reveals himself to be a monster. And because he can't get destroyed unless it's a divine weapon, the principal just like picks up the entire furniture in the classroom and tries crushing him. And it's really freaking amazing. But one of the things we learn about with Mr. Gato is it looks like he used to be a veteran of war, because you have this one scene where he's in the battlefield, he's sort of traumatized by holding like dead bodies and stuff like that, and him being in the school looks like this is his best life. So it looks like whoever this veteran army guy is, who's now a teacher, is trying to sort of live a peaceful life where he can kind of forget all that by living the school life with everything going on. But he tells D to retreat with everything going on, but D refuses. So as the fight continues, time soon begins to rewind as everything sort of goes back to normal in the office, and this is where we see the boss monster make their debut. Magetta, I believe their name is, Magia. I think it's probably a pun for snake. So the boss is a snake. We see him. He looks kind of goofy. I mean, he's got like a school uniform on with a snake head with everything going on, but he looks goofy, he looks silly. But after that, he soon disappears and D is in the classroom and there's nothing but like debris and ruins around him. Now, that's where that scene ends up on. The final scene we get in this episode is, it looks like there's a bunch of kindergartners on a school trip and a kaiju appears and begins eating an elephant. So once again, this kaiju plotline gets followed up on, but we don't really get some answers. We just know that kaiju are lurking about, and it looks like they're causing havoc in the world of Go-Go Loser Ranger. So with all these kaiju appearing, I get the feeling it's building up to the mech or the Megazord being formed in this show. I have no idea, but it looks like the Rangers are being really slow to sort of respond to this kaiju thing, because the kaijus have been slowly built up, but hopefully the Rangers soon make their moves soon. And then we'll get to see what they're like when they're actually defeating or dealing with a real threat like a kaiju, because, you know, they're sort of fake heroes. They do the Sunday morning show, and now they're faced with a real threat. Like, they defeated all the boss monsters years ago, but now this is a big, serious threat, and I do wonder how they're going to deal with it. So, with that said, I think I'm going to bring this review of Go-Go Loser Ranger episode 3 of season 2 to a close. What did you guys think of this episode? Love it, hate it? You guys really loved my episode 2 review of season 2. It got a lot of good reception and a lot of views, more than the usual views I get for these reviews. So people are watching it, people are having eyes on it, which is good. But with that said, I think I'll bring this video to a close, and I'll see you guys later. Peace out, take care, bye.